This is the Northwest Training Development Team and Pathways Daily Coronavirus Update. Today's update looks at when some of the restrictions we are all facing might be lifted. Ian from the Wirral has this question that lots of you have been asking.
When the actually lockdown or coronavirus actually going to end?
Gary Borley from Learning Disability England shares his answer.
Hi everyone. Nobody knows when the lockdown will actually finish, but the thing is to stay safe and follow the rules of what the government has laid down and keep being connected.
The rules around the current lockdown are a little bit confusing. This is because things will change gradually. We will have to keep an eye out for the changes that are being made. The government says it looks at 5 different things when it's deciding whether or not we can lessen the restrictions. On the news, we sometimes hear these 5 things called the 5 tests. The first thing the government is checking for is whether the NHS can cope with the number of people who are currently getting support because they are ill with the virus. They need to make sure the NHS can look after everyone. The second thing the government looks at when they're deciding whether or not we can ease the restrictions is how many people are dying each day from the coronavirus. Government says it can only lift restrictions when we see that less and less people are dying from coronavirus each day. The government says it is keeping a close eye on the number of people that each person who has the virus passes it on to. We sometimes hear this called the R number. This tells them how much the virus is spreading. Government want to keep this number below 1. Government says while this number stays below 1, they can think about having less restrictions. This is because while the number is less than 1, it means that not everyone who has the virus is passing it on. The fourth thing the government is checking for is whether the country has all the things that it needs. This is things like personal protective equipment and enough coronavirus tests. The last thing the government is looking at is whether any changes might mean more people start becoming ill again. They don't want to make any changes that would mean an increase in the number of people catching the virus. These are the 5 things the government says it looks at when it is deciding whether or not we can make any changes to restrictions. Everyone is really looking forward to a time when we can meet up with the people that we care about again. We don't know when the lockdown will end, and it probably won't all end at once, but it will happen in small changes. Government has set out 5 things it looks at when it's deciding what changes it is safe to make. We should follow current advice and we should use other ways to keep connected with the people that we care about until we can see each other face to face again.